answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey guys, Mugalore here, and I'm back again with another video. And before we dive into today's topic, if you haven't checked out my previous video where I gave you guys my impression about Elden Rings and how I feel about it as I'm playing through the game, it's a very interesting video. It's pretty long. If you just want to just hear my thoughts and what I think about it, since it's my first Souls game going in, definitely check it out. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So let us dive into today's video. I just want to pick up where we last left off as far as fighting games is concerned, where we talked about Street Fighter 6 and what Capcom has pretty much done with this new licensing agreement when it comes to hosting tournaments, and how that could affect the grassroots community moving forward. Now, many of you guys in the comment section had asked me what are my thoughts about Street Fighter 6 as far as, you know, the potential roster could potentially be. So I figured that, hey, why not just create a video where I just put together my own wish list and also a prediction of what we could expect with the starting roster and also with its potential DLC and so forth and so on. So let's just dive right into it. I think it's going to be pretty fun. I decided to create and use the tier template right here for us to get started on this. So what is my thoughts, or what is my thought process behind this wish list or this prediction of what we could expect the starting roster and this DLC to be for Street Fighter 6? What is my thought process behind it? One, as far as we know, when it comes to the details and information when it comes to Street Fighter 5, I'm basing it off of that as far as the storyline is concerned. Now, we do know that Rose somehow may play a big, integral part maybe to Street Fighter 6 because of what she was experiencing and what her storyline was entailing when it comes to that, and also how Capcom has pretty much said and is marketing Luke as the main character moving forward in the Street Fighter franchise. So we can definitely look into those little categories as well, and plus we can safely assume that the story is going to go beyond Street Fighter 3. So we also have to keep that in mind as well. This is just my prediction, this is just my guess, but I don't see them not going past Street Fighter 3. I think we've pretty much at Street Fighter 3 at this point and going to go a little bit more beyond Street Fighter 3. So keep that in mind as far as my choices when it comes to characters. And I also have prediction of what guest characters may appear. I mean, characters that's outside of Capcom, like third-party characters. So the way I constructed this is by percentages of like the chances of the character actually making it in the base roster and everything of that sort, and then of course characters that I think will probably be DLC, and then guests. So let's just dive right into it. First, for starters, we're gonna have to just get this straight out the gate right now. We already know that 100% sure that Luke is going to be 100% sure that he's gonna be on Street Fighter 6. We already seen that already. We've seen the marketing, we've seen the advertisement, and Capcom is making him the poster boy moving forward for Street Fighter. So we know Luke is going to be in it. So then, of course, we know Ryu is going to be in it. Of course, 100% sure about that. Now, I did remember reading somewhere that when it comes to future Street Fighter titles, that they know, because they learned from Street Fighter Third Strike, that you just can't get rid of legacy characters all the way. You can't completely remove them. So we already know that Ryu is always going to be a staple, and they did say that Chun-Li will be like a staple. So you can't have a Street Fighter game without Ryu or Chun-Li. So we already know for a fact that Luke, Ryu, and Chun-Li are definitely going to be like 100% locked in for sure when it comes to Street Fighter 6. So that's nothing to worry about. So if you guys are Chun-Li fans, you know for a fact that Chun-Li would never be replaced unless through the storyline of Street Fighter 6 that there could be a potential, you know, I guess you could say protege that she may have under her wing that could replace her sometime in the future or something like that. We don't know, but that's just me just predicting or something like that if that's the case. Now this is where it gets interesting, because as I said before, when it comes to Street Fighter 6, I'm just basing it off of some of the story elements of Street Fighter 5, and also where this game could potentially sit when it comes to Yeah, as far as the timeline is concerned. So most definitely this has to actually, we should be at Street Fighter 3 at this point, or a little bit after Street Fighter 3. Alright, so as far as Rose is concerned, now I wouldn't say 100%. I'm like around 80 to 90% sure that she has to be in the base roster, just based off the ending and you know, of her, you know, getting images of the future and how she wants to go in the past, or maybe she can change certain things and stuff like that. So I'm looking about 80 or 90% sure that she's going to be in the base. I'm gonna go with 80. I'm 80%, like I'm right there at 80% that she has to be in the base roster for Street Fighter 6. So we're gonna move on. Next, we ain't gonna go in any kind of order of how we're gonna do this. So I'm thinking what we're gonna do here is gonna get some interesting choices here. Now, this may be controversial. But I'm gonna go with this. In my opinion, I don't think that Ken is going to be in the base roster. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying that. And I think Sean, since we like from what I'm thinking and believing that the story is going to be on Third Strike or after Third Strike, I think Sean is going to be Ken's like replacement. Now, I don't think Ken is going to be totally removed from the game. I don't think that he may not be in the base roster. I think Sean, I'm 70% sure. 70. No. I mean, you know what? No. I don't take it to 60. I'm 60% sure that Sean maybe replacing Ken, be Ken's replacement. Ken will be in the story. Ken is going to be pretty much probably like training Sean or whatever like that or something. But I truly believe that Sean may be in the base roster. 60% sure that he'll possibly be in the base roster, Sean. So I would say for Ken, I would say that he will be DLC. Like, I think he will be like the first batch of DLC, like Ken. That's what I believe. If we get Sean in here, I think Ken will be DLC, because we already got our Shotos, we got Ryu already. So I mean, like, I like Ken. Ken is one of my favorite characters or whatever, but I think we'll probably get, especially if the story is going to go to Third Strike or after, I think Sean would be in that. Okay, so next, this is going to be a doozy here. Like I said before, since, you know, I believe the story is going to go a little bit past or on Third Strike, I think 70%, I'm 70% sure that maybe Makoto is going to be in the base roster for Street Fighter 6. I just think it makes sense. I mean, the fact is that she was in Street Fighter 4 had really got me when it came to that, and the fact is that she didn't return in Street Fighter 5. I'm like wow, like she just didn't make no appearance. But I believe that Makoto, and plus she's been heavily demanded. A lot of people like Makoto or would like Makoto to come back, so I can definitely see Makoto, 70% chance of her returning to the base roster for Street Fighter 6. Next, let's see. I think Karen would definitely make a return. I think Karen would probably most likely be 80%, and because I just believe that since Karen is pretty much a fan favorite, and especially when you look at the results in Street Fighter 5, like especially when Punk was using Karen as his main and everything like that, I think Karen is a pretty popular character. I can't see her being removed, especially when we go into this next character. It would make sense. Just listen to how I will set this up. So if Karen's going to be in the game, you can't remove Sakura from the game. Sakura has to be 80%. Like, it's an 80% chance that Sakura has to be in the game, because I mean, Sakura and Karen are rivals. But not just that. Speaking the topic of rivals, since these two are rivals to each other, it just make total sense that she be in the game. You can't have Karen. I can't see Karen being in the game but not having Sakura in the game. I just can't see that happening at this point. We had Sakura, but we didn't have Karen in the previous games. We always had Sakura, but I can't just see them just putting Karen but not have Sakura. So I'm 80% sure that Karen and Sakura is going to definitely make a return. Now, speaking of rivals, I'm thinking what they're going to do with Street Fighter 6 this time is that they're going to continue to incorporate. I think with Street Fighter, they want to make Street Fighter a big brand, and to expand that brand, they're going to start including other Capcom brands into this game. Like to really just bring other IPs into this, and also it's good promotion for those IPs when if they decide to make games to revive or remaster some of these IPs. So speaking of rivals, I truly believe since we have Akira as DLC from Street Fighter 5, I can't see her being in season 5 for the final season for Street Fighter 5, but then remove her completely from Street Fighter, you know, moving forward. So I really believe that Akira is going to make a return 80%, and this is also to build that lore and to incorporate more rival schools. Because remember, I said in the older video, I said, yo, it would be sick, and I really believe that the DLC character for Street Fighter 5 will be a rival schools character, and I was completely correct about that. So I think they're going to really expand on that a bit more, and this is where this comes into, because you can expand more on, you know, Sakura and the other characters and Karen, and that's why I truly believe it will be cool. And I am like 60%. I'm 60% confident, like 60%, that Batsu and Kyosuke, and where is she? Do I have her on here, or did I miss her? Is we also going to add Hinata to the list as well. I truly believe that they're going to start adding some more rival schools into the Street Fighter universe, because they all connected together. Like Final Fight, rival schools, Saturday Night Slam Masters, they're all incorporated in the Street Fighter universe. So I can't see them putting Akira in the game for Street Fighter 5 as like the final deal, or near the final DLC, and then just don't put her in Street Fighter 6. I really think they want to expand more on rival schools and putting them into their game. And Sakura went to the same school as Batsu, because Sakura was in rival school. So I think they can really add more lore to her character by incorporating some of the rival school characters into the game. So I'm 60% sure that around that point right there that we can have some more rival schools: Batsu, Kyosuke, and Hinata. All right, next, I think Dudley would definitely making it with, like, I'm like 90% sure that Dudley would be in the base roster. He would be a replacement for Balrog. That's what I believe. I think he'll be a Balrog replacement, for sure. Like, especially like I said, if it's definitely on Street Fighter 3, if we're on Street Fighter 3 story, or going a little bit past Street Fighter 3 story. Also, we're going to go to, let me see. Oh yeah, now, also who I believe is going to make a return as well, and I'm like pretty much 80% sure that this character is going to return to Street Fighter 6. I think Nash is going to definitely return, and I believe since Luke has been inspired by Gao, I truly believe that Gao won't be in the base, but he will definitely be DLC, kind of like the Sean and Ken treatment. So he may not be in the base, but we do have Nash right here to be in the base for a replacement for Gao, but also as DLC, that he'll definitely make a return at some point. But I think Nash would definitely, like 80%, that he'll probably be in the base roster. Also, when it comes to these new Street Fighter games, like Capcom really has to come up with has to balance, because they learned from Street Fighter 3 that you can't just completely get rid of Street Fighter characters, the legacy characters, but you also want to introduce new characters. They also want to introduce new characters as well. So you have to find that balance. You know what I'm saying? So this is the 6th entry. So we just came off of Street Fighter 5. I can't see them completely just abandoning the Street Fighter 5 characters that they already established in the 5th entry and just don't put them in the base roster at all. So that's why I truly believe that I truly believe like 100%, that we'll probably have let me see, Rasheed. I think Rasheed is going to make it into the base roster. I truly believe that that's what's going to happen. Rasheed is going to make it in there. I also truly believe that who else do we have? And I truly believe that where is she? Colleen. Where's Colleen? That's so many characters. Yeah, I truly believe, I'm 90% sure that Colleen will most likely make it into the game as well. I just can't see some of these cool characters, like these character designs and everything, making into like being the 5th game, but then just automatically absent from the 6th game. So I believe Colleen, and plus she had a unique moveset, ice abilities. That was really unique, and I just think, you know, Street Fighter would be missing something for, you know, not having her in the game. And I also believe that Falk will make it back into the game. 80%. I'm 80% sure that she'll probably make it back into the game. You know, another pole arm type character. I think they could fix her moveset a bit more. I think she was pretty unique. I think it'd be crazy not to have her not in the game at all. Street Fighter 6. Also, my girl Jory, almost 90% sure that she's going to make it back into the game. Almost 90. There's no way in the world you cannot have this character in the game. Like, she's almost become like a staple character at this point. I cannot see them not having Jory. She has to be in the base, not DLC. She has to be in the base roster. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. As far as another character selection, like I said, we on the storyline of Street Fighter 3, so we have to have some Street Fighter 3 characters in the base. I cannot see Oro not making it into the base roster. I have 100% confidence that Oro is in the base roster, especially after him being in the last batch, Season 5 DLC as well. Also, I cannot see Ibuki not being in the game. I'm 90% sure that Ibuki's going to make it into the game. She's another fan favorite, and plus we were pushing the storyline forward with Street Fighter 6, so I cannot see her not being in the game. Also, I'm not too confident, but I wanted to go with this. I'm around 70% C Viper. C Viper only made an appearance on Street Fighter 4, sadly. And I think it's the perfect time for this character to make a return into Street Fighter 6. I think it's a lot more you can do with her, especially thinking about story mode too. Street Fighter 6, Capcom is really trying to put emphasis on story because, like I said, they said they've been heavily influenced by what NetherRealm Studios had done with their games, with the DC games and the Mortal Kombat games with the story. And her being a secret agent or like a spy, I think that would be a perfect fit for like an interesting story to bring this character back. So I like 70%. I'm 70% like confident, like sure, like that C Viper could possibly make that return. Urian, I'm about 90% sure that he'll definitely make it into the game. Also, Poison, I'm like 90% sure that Poison will most definitely make it into the base roster as well. And let's see here. And you can't have Poison without, because these are Final Fight characters, you can't have Poison without Hugo as well. I'm like 80% sure that Hugo will make it in. And then, speaking of Final Fight, you know, Cody's the mayor, and I definitely think that Guy, I'm 70% sure. I want to say 70% sure. Now let's take that back. I believe that Guy will most likely be DLC. Guy will most likely be in the DLC batch, and Cody, I'm I'm 80% sure that Cody will probably be in the roster. So we looking at, let me see, 1, 2. Well, maybe I shouldn't have put all the rival schools in. Nah, DLC. I think Batsu will be in the starting roster or whatever like that. So 23 characters. I think we can pretty much round it. We'll try 28 characters for the starting roster. 28 characters. So I can definitely see for the let me see. Alex would have to be, I would say, I'm 80% sure that Alex would make it into the base. And also, I think Yun 80% would be in the roster as well. Like, I'm surprised that he didn't even make it. Yun or Yang didn't make it in Street Fighter 5. I'm definitely surprised about that. But like I said, pushing the story forward, I think Yun would definitely be in the game. And of course, we can't forget our where is he? I think Zangief would definitely would be in the base. We need to have our default grappler in the roster. We definitely need him. 26 characters. We're going 2 more characters, and that'll be 28 characters in the starting roster. So I believe that we'll probably also get Laura. I'm like 70% sure Laura will make it in as well. And one more character to fit the base, and then I think we'll have a good amount of characters. Oh yeah, and Cammy. I'm like 100% confident Cammy's going to be in the base. So that's a total of 28 characters. Let me make sure I got everything right. Yeah, we have 28 characters. 28 characters that be in the base roster for Street Fighter 6, and these are the characters right here. I don't think that's a bad starting roster. Like I said, these are I don't think this is a bad starting roster. Starting the game off. I think you got a little bit of variety of characters that you can start off with and play from. There's 28 characters from the start that you can fool around and play with, and I think it's a little bit for everybody to have. Now we're going to start adding in DLC characters. I think Elena is going to be DLC character. Lucia, Minot, Armika, Adon, Sagat, I believe 12. We also, who else? Yeah, E Honda, Akuma. I already have Guy up there already. Yeah, so I think this is the DLC characters I was able to come up with and think of. There could possibly be more DLC characters in the that they can come up with. Oh yeah, and Remy. So these DLC characters that I do have that I think will potentially be DLC in the game, and of course there'll possibly be definitely more. Now the interesting thing is guest characters that I was thinking of. I think guest characters would be, which may sound crazy, Kazuya. Come on, we've seen how Tekken characters play in the Street Fighter Street Fighter format, and I can see Kazuya as a guest character making it in there, and of course I can see Kyo making it into from representing SNK as a guest character. I think that'd be interesting, because then this can also be a way for them to cross promote each of their characters and stuff into their games, and also it could spark some interest for another potential Street Fighter Cross Tekken or a Capcom versus SNK 3. I think that'd be pretty cool. I would definitely like to see Kyo in Street Fighter 6, especially in that new graphics engine with the RE engine. I'd definitely like to see how Kyo will look, and I definitely would love to see, because the RE engine makes the Street Fighter characters look like Tekken characters in a way. You know what I'm saying? So to see Kazuya in the RE engine, I think that would be definitely dope as well. So bring it on. I like to see those. And things, I don't want any more guest characters. I think Kazuya and Kyo will be perfect guest characters for Street Fighter 6 moving forward. But this is the DLC characters I have right here. Like I said, Ken. I can see Sean replacing Ken for the base roster, but Ken returning as DLC. I can see, since Luke is pretty much Guile's an inspiration to Luke and everything like that. So I can see Guile being a DLC character, while Nash will still have our charge character like Nash to also be that replacement for Guile, but you can be able to get Guile later for DLC. Then we have more rival schools with Hinata, Kyosuke. Of course, Elena has to return, especially since we move in the story forward from Street Fighter 3. We also have Lucia. She's a Final Fight character. I can't see her not being in the game. I can't see her Guy not returning. Guy has to return, so we have more Final Fight characters. Also Minot, she's a protege to Rose, so I can't see her not being in the game as well. Also Armika, why did I make her DLC? I mean, like I said, Capcom has to find a balance of having some Street Fighter 3 characters, some legacy characters, and also some potential characters for Street Fighters, like original characters for Street Fighter 6, while maintaining some Street Fighter 5 characters. So it's gonna be a hard blend. Now, these are just the base roster of returning characters. This is not counting what Street Fighter 6 characters they may have, because we're going to have some Street Fighter 6 characters besides Luke. So this roster could go past 28 characters. It could essentially end up being 32 or 34 characters, and that's a nice healthy size roster. But I don't know, we could be just dreaming, you know. But that's pretty much it from what I have here. We could possibly update it in the future, make another video. So I may make some changes, shifts some things around and stuff. So you interested to even see a follow-up on this, definitely let me know in the comment sections below. I had fun putting this together. We'll be doing a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, like you know, a wish list for a potential roster if we ever get a Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So I'll definitely gonna be doing that as well. And I also want to do a Sega versus Nintendo, or Nintendo versus Capcom, like roster or whatever like that, your wish list. So I like to do more of these. So if you want to see me do more of these and just like have fun with you guys with this, definitely let me know in the comment sections below. If you like the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to stay up to date with more fighting game news and just gaming in general, hit that bell to be notified. This is Mugen Lord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.